This movie looks absolutely incredible. So from what I understand, it's about a group of soldiers who are struggling to integrate back into civilian life after fighting in Iraq. What are we going to learn from this movie?
Well, I think it'll kind of put civilians in the driver's seat a little bit for these guys' lives. I think that's the power of film. I think, you can read a book about, these soldiers coming back and the struggles they go through, but when you're able to watch it and the feedback we've gotten from the veteran community or spouses of veterans, it's an extremely tough transition. You're going from war to home, but the feedback we're getting is that it's extremely authentic, and that's my service. Bring a voice to this, help shine a light on it.
Miles, thank you for being on the show. What inspired you specifically to be a part of this film, to do this film?
I think I just really felt for that person. It's tough. We know how to create a soldier, right? You can put them in a boot camp and you can put them in this cast and then take them out there and they're not going to be thinking for themselves. Like, they know how to be a soldier, and we've been doing that as a country for forever. And it's not just American film, but we still don't know how to then help that person come back from that.
The next transition.
Well, because you're training these guys to do things that in life you're not meant to do. You're really not. And so they're dealing with immense amounts of trauma. Every day, the guy I play, he spent 1,000 days in combat. And then you come back and it's like, that reintegration process, it's tough. And you have 22 vets a day committing suicide. And, it's just something I get behind. I'm happy to help, bring this story to light a little bit, because it's crazy that there really hasn't been much exploration into that,
But it's tough to transition to sports after that, but
yeah, but that's what we do.
Yeah.
You're a Philly sports fan.
Yeah.
Who's the number one team for you in Philadelphia? I'm not saying to choose, but which of those teams is the one that affects your emotional well-being more than the others?
Football just because it's such a short season. I feel like week to week is really, and then you got fantasy football, and all these other things. But I don't know. Baseball was my game. My dad taught me baseball, and when the Phillies won the World Series in 2008, literally cried. So that's,
So in
that's how much
in terms of your Eagles, we'll see what happens with the Phillies going forward, but in terms of your Eagles, things are looking up for them this year. They look like the class of the NFC East, and then Jason Peters goes down. What do you think about the rest of this season?
Yeah, look, we lost Sproles, we lost Darby, and those are two really, high impact players for our team.
Jason Peters.
Yeah.
Big loss too.
Yeah, Peters. I've seen that backup play. But yeah, it hurts. Obviously, last year we didn't have Lane Johnson for those 10 games, and it's tough. But Wentz is so mobile in the pocket. It's just been a surprise, honestly, for every Eagles fan. This year is a surprise. So it's all, it's all good. Here's my man. Oh yeah, and Aguilar is catching the ball like crazy this year. Blunt.
Well, to me, the question that comes to my mind, Miles, is writing for the Philadelphia Inquirer for 17 years. You know what? You've seen the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl in 2004. They were in the Super Bowl in 1980, but there's no Super Bowl championship to speak of, and there was a 24-year gap between Super Bowl appearances. I guess my question to you would be, what's it like being, loving Philadelphia so much and having no Super Bowl championship associated with this franchise?
Yeah, and a lot of my buddies are Giants fans, and I'm reminded all the time
good buddies,
about our lack of championships. But it's tough because under Andy Reid, I think we averaged like 10.5 wins this season, or something like that. So we're always putting a good team on the field, just can't piece it together. And I'm not your typical Philly boo bird. You know what I mean? I'm not booing a good team. But yeah, it's frustrating. We don't have that. We don't have that trophy.
May you never experience the joy of the Super Bowl win.
Oh, my God.
And, guys, I don't know if you know this, but Miles is also actually a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
A little bandwagon on that one.
Oh, no, my dad was
a little bandwagon.
Well, unless you grow up into a bandwagon father, I would never say that about my dad. But my dad's a Laker fan, so.
Fathers can't touch the fathers. I'll leave that one alone.
Yeah.
What do you think
That's totally permissible. That's totally permissible to be a Lakers fan out of market.
Appreciate it.
What do you think of Lonzo Ball, his transition with the team, and the Lakers' future?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lonzo does. I think he's got world-class vision. You know, there's not a lot of tape on the kid at this point. You know, but yeah, I like Ingram. I like Randall. We'll see. We're a couple of years off, but you know, Magic Johnson. Having Magic Johnson in charge right up there, and Jeannie Buss. I think we're in good hands. You know, I'll certainly go to some games this year.
Meantime, your
You're not gonna-
Sixers. Meantime,
I was
your
getting
Sixers.
ready. I was getting ready to bring up about the Sixers, Mac. That's what I was going to ask him. Go ahead. Get on him about the Sixers.
No,
Max.
well, everyone's talking Embiid and trust the process and Markelle Fultz and everything, but to me, Ben Simmons, my Lord, that guy can play.
Yeah, I mean, 6'10", and the way that he's. I'm just glad to see him out there. You know what I mean? You don't like. I think in the NBA or for any sport, anything you're doing, talent does have a shelf life, and so I'm excited that he's just able to get out there, and the injury seems like he's been able to move past it. But yeah, he's a stud out there.